All right, everybody. Looks like we are getting started. I want to make sure that everything is working how it's supposed to. Today is the first day that we're trying to do this class on both YouTube and on Facebook at the same time. So hopefully it's all going to work just fine. Hopefully everything works okay. If not, then I have put the link to the other platform inside of each of the chats of the platform. So if you're on YouTube, you can see the link to Facebook, and if you're on Facebook, you can see the link to YouTube. So if there's a problem with the video, then you can always go to the other platform, and hopefully everything will be okay there. I'm going to check right now and make sure that it's all working, and it looks like it's all working on both places. Yep, and we have people watching on each of them. All right, very good, very good. All right, so for those of you who have been to my classes before, this should be very familiar. We're going to have our English class today, and it's going to be very interactive. So your job today is to type into the chat bar of your platform and be very active in the class. All right, if you can do that, then we're going to have a great class today. All right. As we get started, just tell me if you can just show me that you know how to type into the chat bar, and you can do that and tell me who you are, tell me where you're from or where you're watching from, where in the world you are. I see that we already have some. I see Emilce is here from Argentina. Excellent. Nice to see you, Emilce. Very good. But yeah, go ahead and do that. Type in the chat and let me know that you're here so that I know I'm talking to somebody here. All right. And I'm going to check the chats one more time, check the feeds, and make sure everything is okay. I think it is. All right. Okay. All right. So we're going to get started today. Our topic today is the present perfect tense, and this is one that I think is very important. We can start to think of this as one of our starting to get into some like advanced tenses in English, and it's one that I see a lot of people making mistakes with. And you can see on the screen here that it says actually part one. Let's get this going. Yeah, part one of this. And this is actually going to be a 4-part series. So we're going to have actually 4 classes like this, all about the present perfect tense. And we're going to start with the basics today. That's our topic today, is learning the basics. So how to ask questions, how to use the present perfect tense. And then in the next classes, we're going to build on top of that and get to a very advanced level where we can use this tense really easily in any situation. All right, that's our goal for today. Okay, or for the next couple weeks, for the next couple classes. I'm seeing some people. All right, we have Emilce from Argentina. We have Dubrovka from Serbia. Excellent. Nice to see the two of you here. I'm happy to have you here. We're going to have some more joining, but hopefully we can be very active in the chats today. All right. Now, you can also see that today we have a topic, and our topic is all about our dream jobs. Oops, there we go. Let's see. Yes, there we go. Our dream jobs. So I know that when I was a kid, when I was younger, I had a dream job. Maybe I still do. I don't know. We'll get into what my dream job was later on. But that's our topic today. So as we talk about our dream jobs and we dream about things that we could be or want to be or could have been, we're also going to practice using the present perfect tense. All right. So that's our goal for today. Now, I can see that we're starting to get active in the chat bar. That's excellent. If you are on, if you're on YouTube, you can only see the chats from YouTube, and if you're on Facebook, you can only see the chats from Facebook. I can see all of them. I can see everything you say. So let's get started with our class for today, with talking about the present perfect tense. So here's how I want to start. As I said before, this class needs to be very interactive. So I need all of you to be very active in the chat bar today and answering my questions that I have, and that's how we're going to make this a really fun class to have. So my first question for you, and I need you to answer again in the chat, is what is your dream job? Okay, what is your dream job? Maybe this was something that you had when you were younger. Maybe this is something you've held on to and you still have this dream job and you still want to be this thing. Maybe you are now working in your dream job. I don't know. But I want you to type into the chat and tell me, what is your dream job? Okay, I'm going to tell you mine in a little bit, but I want to know what your dream job is first. Okay. So go ahead and type that into the chat bar. And as you do that, I'm checking to make sure that we have everything working on all of our different platforms that we're on today. Yes. All right. Everything looks like it's good. Okay. All right. So what is your dream job? I'm curious. What is your dream job? Is it, we have a couple of them in the pictures here. You can see a few of them. We have, for example, in our example on the right here, we have, well, it depends on where you are in the world, really, what you would call this person. I think in the UK, they would call them a footballer. But in the US, I don't think we would call them a footballer. I think we would call them a soccer player. And please pardon my poor handwriting today. I'm going to do my best. But I want to know, what is your dream job? What did you want to be when you grew up, or what do you want to be when you grow up? We're all children at hearts, right? Let's see. So what is your dream job? What do you want to be? What do you want to do? Okay, I see some good ones here. I see some good ones coming in. We have Raimonda wants to be a kindergarten teacher. Very nice, Raimonda. Like our friend in the picture here. So we have our kindergarten teacher in the picture here. Well, maybe not kindergarten, but a teacher of some sort. Now remember that a dream job is about what you want to be, your dream, not necessarily what you are. It could be what you are, but it's what you really, really want to be, like your dream. I guess it's in the name, right? Your dream job. Dubrovka says quality control manager. Okay. Ooh, Delphine says working with horses. I like that one. See, all right, so we have some more specific things. We're working with horses, kindergarten teachers, we have quality control. These are very good. All right, these are all excellent examples of dream jobs. And as I said, I'm going to tell you mine in a little bit. Absolutely. I'm going to tell you what my dream job is in a little bit. But all right, it's good. It's good that I know a little bit about you all. All right. So let's get started. Now, again, today I told you that we're talking about these dream jobs, and at the same time, we're going to talk about the present perfect tense. So really fast, I want to go into what exactly I mean when I say the present perfect tense. Now, for some of you, this may be a bit of a review, and that's okay, right? If you already know this, then it's always good to review this, but we're going to look at what it means to be, or what it is, or what the present perfect tense is. Yeah. Oh, I see another one here. Let's see. I would like to be a person who goes to hotels and tests the food in the rooms. Yeah, a hotel tester, you say? Yeah, maybe a hotel tester. I think that's probably a good one, or a reviewer, maybe. Yeah. All right. So real fast, let's take a look at this present perfect tense and see what it is. What are we talking about here? What is this thing? And the present perfect tense is actually quite simple to form, especially when you're dealing with regular verbs. When we're dealing with regular verbs, the present perfect tense is pretty simple. I don't think that we really need to, or I don't think that it's something that is going to be difficult to remember. So we can see an example of it down here at the bottom. Where it says, I have talked to 3 customers today. All right, so maybe when we're thinking about our dream job, or when we're talking about going to work, you can talk about the number of people you have talked to. And it's very simple to form this present perfect tense. Very simple. All we need to do is remember that we have the word have. We have the word have and has. Right, just either have or has, depending on what the subject is, and what we call the past participle. The past participle. Now, it does not matter if you can remember that it is called a participle. Nobody will ever ask you, and most English speakers don't know that this is called a participle. Most people know this as being the third form. So whenever you learn these things, you always learn that there are 3 forms. There's the infinitive form, which is just the base of the verb. You have your past tense form, which is the past tense of the verb. And then you have what's called the participle, which is the third form of the verb, which is what we use to give the present perfect tense. We use this for the present perfect tense. Now, you may notice that in most regular verbs, the past tense and the participle are identical. So you can say, I have talked, I have invented, I have wanted, I have walked. Very simply, you can use the past participle and the past tense. They look exactly the same. The difference comes in the irregular verbs. The irregular verbs. So these ones here, the irregulars, where the past tense and the participle don't necessarily look the same. In some cases they do. In some cases they do. So we have the words like taught and taught, made and made, but sometimes they don't. And the most common verbs are the ones that don't have the same form in the irregulars. So words like to be, right? In the past we see was or were, and in the participle we'll see the word been. To write, we can see in the past it says wrote, and in the participle, not writen or wroten. I hear that a lot. Writen? No, written. Written is our word. And for example, with go, we have the past tense went, and the participle is gone. So we need to remember that anytime we want to use the present perfect tense, and we'll talk about the use of it later, we need to use this participle form here. Okay, that's the thing to remember for today. All right, I don't want to hear anyone say, I have went, I have was. That doesn't. We can't say these things. We need to say, I have gone, I have been. Okay, that's, if we can remember that, then we win for today. And in our last example here, we can see that it says she has taught 3 classes this morning. Notice that we have this word has because we have the third person. We have the third person. So if we have she or he or it, then we need to say has. All right. That's my introduction to the present perfect tense. I know I went very fast because you can watch the video back later, and this might be a review for some people. But if you have any questions, then go ahead and give them to me in the chat if you have any questions. And if not, we're now going to practice doing this, because that's the fun part. That's the good part of this, is to practice. That's how we remember things. Okay. So now I'm going to kind of test your knowledge of 2 things. One, of the participles. I want to see if you can how many of the irregular ones you know. And 2, I'm going to test your knowledge of different professions, because again, that's what we're talking about today, is our dream jobs, our dream professions. So we're going to play a little game. We're going to have a little activity where I have some different common words related to professions, some common verbs related to professions up at the top here. Some of them are irregular, and you're the person to put the word into the sentence in the correct form. So in the past participle form, in that third form. Okay, so the first person to do that gets the points. And now I'm not sure if we have some kind of a lag here going from Facebook going to YouTube, but we'll see. I guess we'll find out pretty fast as we go. All right, so the first person to do it wins the game. It says, I have blank hundreds of cups of coffee this week. I need you to use one of the words and put it in the sentence. Now, extra points, bonus points, if you can tell me who the person is, so what the profession is in the picture. Okay, so I want you to 1, tell me give me the word in the participle form, and 2, tell me who the person is that has this. Okay, those are your jobs. If you can do both of those things, you get extra points. Ooh, okay. All right, I'm seeing some answers. Actually, none of them are correct yet. No, none of the answers I see, none of them are correct. Not yet, at least. Let's see. All right. All right. We do have it right. We do have that this person is called a barista. That is good. But I haven't seen the right verb yet. So, Emil, I see that you're right. Yes. Could it be a barista? Yes, it could be a barista. Very nice. It is a barista. And let's see. So I see I have taken. We can't say taken here. No, we cannot say taken here. We have a different word that we need. I have taken. Yes, Dubrovka. Very nice. I have made. Very nice, Dubrovka. I have made. So our verb here in the participle form is I have made hundreds of cups of coffee this week. And yes, as we said, the person is a barista. Very nice. A coffee maker, we could also say. Coffee maker usually is for the machine, but this would be a barista. Now, we say, I have made these cups of coffee. I have made this coffee because they create it, right? They create the coffee. They're the barista, right? They don't take the coffee, they make the coffee. So I have made hundreds of cups of coffee this week. Now, the other one, I know that some of you said, I have taken, or I take cups of coffee. I take coffee. This is a common mistake that I hear. This is not what we say in English. This is how you say it in Spanish, right? But in English, that's not how we say it. In English, we would say to have a cup of coffee, to have a cup of coffee, Okay, not to take, right? That's a common mistake that I hear. All right, so number one goes to Dubrovka. Very nice, Dubrovka. You have made hundreds of cups of coffee this week. Very nice. Okay, here's the next one. Number two. I have blank 2 best-selling novels. 2 best-selling novels. Hi, Jaise. I hope I pronounce it right. Welcome to the class. Join us. Put in your answer. Let's see what we have to say. I have blank 2 best-selling novels. What can we say? We need the participle form of the verb. We need to choose the right verb. Yes. This one's tricky because it might be irregular, but I think you can handle it, especially because we just said it. Again, 1 point if you tell me the right verb in the right form, and an extra point if you can tell me who the person is, what the profession is of the person who says this. Right, so number 1, what is the verb in the right form? And 2, who is the person? Yes, all right, very good. Raimonda, I think, was the first one to give it to me. Very nice, Raimonda. I have written, absolutely, and Estefania as well. I have written 2 best-selling novels. Very good, very good. I have written. Who's the person? Who's the person? So that's so far. I have the verb, right? I have written. That's our verb. But who is the person? So I have written. Sorry for my handwriting. It's not easy to write on the screen here, but I just, as long as you can see it, I think it's good. I have written 2 best-selling novels, but who is the person? Raimonda, you're very close, but that's not it. That's not it. No, a writer, no. We're very close with that one, but not quite there. All right, I'm going to give it to you, and I'm going to give it to you in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I think somebody can get it. Ah, okay, all right. I'm going to tell you. Here we go. Yes, the word is written. I have written 2 best-selling novels. Absolutely. And the person would be, yes, it would be either an author. It could be an author. It could be a fiction writer. Or I like this one, Estefania, very nice. It could be a novelist. Absolutely. Somebody who writes novels is a novelist. Absolutely. We're going to add that one to the list, a novelist. A novelist. I like that one. Very good. All right. Remember that novels are fiction writing, right? Novels are fiction. Fiction meaning it's not real. The opposite, if it's real, then it would be nonfiction. Right? So fiction is not real and nonfiction is real. It's a little confusing. All right, very good. So we have written and we have a novelist. That's our number 2. All right, here comes the next one. Who is this, or what does this person say, and who is the person? All right, so I have blank. Many people have to speak my language. Who is the person, and what is the verb in the right form? Who is the person, and what is the verb in the right form? I think we'll be able to get this one, seeing as we're all in this class right now. I think that it's going to be pretty clear who this person is, but it is a bit of a tricky one. This isn't a very easy one to do, I think. Okay? So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see. So who is the person, and what is the action? What is the action in the right form? First person to get it gets the points. I think first one went to Dubrovka, and the second one went to Raimonda. So let's see who can get the next one. Who can get it this time? Yes. All right. Emilce, very good. Emilce is first. Emilce says taught. Absolutely. So we have from the verb teach, from the verb teach, we have I have taught. Very good. I have taught many people how to speak my language. Very good. And who is the person? Who is the person? Yeah, it could be a lot of different types of teacher. Absolutely. Could be a lot of different types of teacher. I think, let's see, Emilce says a primary teacher or a kindergarten teacher. Very good. Absolutely. Estefania, I have taught. Very nice. Excellent. A primary teacher, kindergarten teacher. I think that my answer was an English teacher because they say it in English, but it could be any kind of teacher, I think. Absolutely. Very nice. All right. So we have taught and we have that it is a teacher. Very good. All right. All right, here we go. So a three-way tie. So we have Emilce, we have Dubravka, and we have Raimonda, all with a point on the board. All right, here's the next one. Here's the next one. A lot of little kids have this dream job. Many little children have this dream job here. But here we go. I need the verb. I need the verb. I need the verb in the right form, and I need you to tell me who this person is. If you were here at the beginning, then you already know because I've already told you. But I need to know the verb in the right form and who the person is. So what is the verb in the right form, and who is this person here? The verb in the right form, and who is this person? Okay, there we go. Yes. All right, here we go. I'm waiting. All right, yes, I have it. I have some answers. Very good. I think Emilce was first, but we also have Raimonda, and we have, I hope I pronounced this right. I'm going to say it's Jaise or Jaithe. I'm not sure. If I pronounce it right, just let me know, or if I pronounce it wrong, then let me know as well. But yes, the answer is I have scored. I have scored 10 goals. I have scored 10 goals absolutely this season. And as we said before, that we can call this person a different name based on where we are in the world. In some places, like in the UK, I know they call him a footballer. In the US, we would call him a soccer player. But let's just say, this one works everywhere, so we can say a professional athlete. A professional athlete, because maybe we have a footballer or a soccer player who scores a goal, a basketball player, an American football player, or a handball player, or any other sport. We can use a lot of the same terminology. We can use a lot of the same expressions. So we'll say a professional athlete, soccer player, footballer. Any of these work for me. But the important thing here is that we said scored in the participle form. Absolutely, I have scored. Congratulations. All right, very good. That was number 4. Here we go. Here's the next one. Here's the next one. Here's my favorite one. Here's my favorite one. I have blank care of many dangerous animals. Blank care of many dangerous animals. And now I want you to tell me, 1, tell me the verb in the right form, and 2, who is the person who does this. There are many people who this could be. There are many options for the person here. So I want to know, 1, the verb in the right form, and 2, who is the person. The verb in the right form and who is the person. That's what I need to know. Let's see. Oh, we have lots of them. Yes, I think we have some good ones here. Everyone's getting the right answers. Very nice. Yes, I'll take that one. Emilce, very good. I have taken care of many dangerous animals. Absolutely. And we say a vet. Raimonda also says a vet. I'll take that. Delphine says a hunter. Maybe a different kind of take care of. I don't know. Absolutely. Estefania says have taken. Very good. I have taken care of many animals. Very good. Okay. Right. So I see that we have taken and we say a vet, short for veterinarian. I like that. That's very good. I have a different person in mind, though, especially if we start talking about very exotic animals. It could be a zookeeper, maybe, right? In one of these zoos where they take care of the animals, they help them get back to health. I don't know. Could be a zookeeper, could be a veterinarian, could be a lot of different people. Probably a vet. Yeah, I think a vet is probably the best one if we're saying to take care of the animals. Yes, absolutely. All right. Take care of many dangerous animals. So that was another one. Who had that one? That one was Emilce. So Emilce is on the board, doing very well. Okay, here we go. Here's the next one. We're almost to the end of this section here. Almost to the end of this. I have blank in several excellent films. What can we say for this one? I have blank in several excellent films. Several excellent films. What can we say? What verb can we use? Regular, irregular? Who is the person? With this one, we have to think about gender when we say the person. All right, who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? I have blank in several excellent films, or maybe on stage, maybe on Broadway, the West End, in several excellent films. What has this person done? Here we go. Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? I think right now we have Emilce in the lead with 3. Emilce is in the lead with 3. Raimonda has 1. Jaise has 1, and Dubravka has 1. This is number 6. My math may be off. I'm not sure. What can we say? I have blank in several excellent films. I have blank in several excellent films. Jaise, or Jaise, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Played is not an option. Play is not an option. No, play is not an option. We need a different word. Not play. Not play. Yes, Emil say exactly right. Emil says acted, and this is an actress. Absolutely. Yeah. So let's see. In several excellent films, I have acted as an actress. Exactly right. Exactly right. I have acted in several excellent films, and we could say that this person here is an actress, of course, but the male version would be an actor. An actor. We don't say the or, we just say actor. So we have an actor or an actor. Yes, Emilce, you could also say, absolutely, you could say I prefer, you could say I've performed. You could also say performed, of course. Absolutely. I think that when we say performed, I usually think of that as being more the theater. Acting is in a movie, and then performance is in a theater. But there's a lot of overlap. You can use both terms a lot. But if I hear someone say that they performed, then I'm thinking in front of an audience in a theater. So maybe, absolutely, very good. So I have acted in several excellent films. Or I have performed, and we have an actor or an actress here. All right, here comes the next one. Here's the next one. Number 7, almost to the end of this. This person here, I have blank new gadgets that people use every day. Gadgets. Gadgets. Okay, so real fast, who is this person? And give me the verb in the right form. Right? But using the word, we have the word gadgets here. What is a gadget? Well, guys, gadgets are things like headphones, are things like this right here, a mouse. A gadget can be, I don't know, anything electronic that we use, cell phones or mobile phones. These are all gadgets, things that we use, electronics. A kind of a common term for those is a gadget. So let's see, a smartphone, for example. All right, let's see. I have blank new gadgets that people use every day. Oh, let's see. Delphine says you can't read the options because it's blurred on the smartphone. Uh-oh. I'm not sure what to do about that. Well, just do the best you can here. Let's see. Delphine, yes, absolutely. I've invented, very good. I've invented new gadgets. And here we have, I see some people saying scientist. Very good. We could say scientist. We could also say an inventor. Right, an inventor invents things. In English, we're very lazy when we name things and name people. A scientist does science, an inventor invents. Yeah, an engineer does engineering. I don't know. But yeah, absolutely. Invented would be the word here. Very nice. Very good. All right, and then finally, we have our last one here, and it should be the easiest because, well, all the other ones are taken. But that doesn't mean that it will be very easy. It doesn't mean it will be very easy. Let's see. I have blank over 1,000 times in an airplane. Dubravka says the screen is blurry too. It could be the internet connection, everybody. It could be the internet. If you're on your smartphone, if you're on a cell phone, then that could be the problem. Are we having the same problem on a desktop? If we're having the same problem on a desktop, then we might have a problem. But okay, let's see. So I have blank over 1,000 times in an airplane. What can we say here? First, tell me the verb in the right form, and second, tell me the person's name or the title of the person here. What is this person? Who is this person? All right. Let's see. What can we say? What can we say? Ooh, yes, Raimonda, you fixed it. You fixed it. Very nice, very nice. We have some good answers. I've flown. We say flown in a pilot. Raimonda says I have flown. Absolutely, flown. Absolutely, yes. The past participle of the word fly is flown. So I have flown over 1,000 times in an airplane. Extra credit, extra points if you can tell me the other people on an airplane. The other people. So we have the pilot, of course. We have the pilot flying the plane. That's our verb there, is to fly the plane. Who are the other people on the plane? Who are the other workers on the plane? Maybe you can tell me. Think about it. Put it in the answer. Put it in the chat if you know the answer to that one. All right. Let's see. So these are our verbs in the present perfect form. I have flown, I have made, I have taken, I have written. All of these are good. All of these are good. But now I want to take it another step further. Right? I want to take it to the next level, and I want to practice asking questions in the present perfect. I want to ask questions in this form here. Because it's not so, it's when we're having conversations, we have to ask questions and we have to answer questions. That's how a conversation flows. So let's take a look at how we can ask questions here, how we can ask questions. So we have two different types of questions. Again, we see our pilot here. We see our pilot on the screen. And he says, of course, he says, I have flown over 1,000 times in an airplane. But if we're having a conversation with the pilot, if we're having a conversation, then maybe we have some other questions we want to ask. Maybe we have some other questions. So we may say something like this. We may ask this question: have you flown to Paris? Right? You've flown over 1,000 times. Have you flown to Paris? Right? So that's one question we could ask. We could ask him an open-ended question. We could ask him another question. We could say, where have you flown? Where have you flown? Oh no. Spoiler alert. Yeah, we could say, have you flown to Paris? And we could say, where have you flown? So we have two different ways that we can ask questions. One of them is just very simply switching the subject and the word have, just switching the order of those two. Notice down here, we say, I have flown. There we're saying subject plus have plus the participle. And at the top here, we're just switching the order of have and the subject. And that's how we ask questions in English. I hear lots of people asking questions without switching the order. They say, you have flown? That's not how we do it in English. We have to switch the order to ask questions in English. And the second question, if we have a question word like where, then all we do, we still switch the order and we just have the word where in front. Okay, so it's nice and easy to ask questions using the present perfect tense. It's pretty simple, I think. All we need to do is remember to switch the order and we've got it. Okay, there it is. Now, I see lots of you typing in the chat. You're trying to guess who the other people are on the plane. I see people like the co-pilot. Absolutely, we have a co-pilot. The hostess, we could say air hostess. Absolutely. The mechanic, of course. Every airplane needs a mechanic, of course. A common term for them is to say oh no, I'm not very good at this. A steward or a stewardess. If we want to have the gender of it, you know, a lot of these professions in English have genders: steward, stewardess, actor, actress, that sort of thing. So that's one term, and then air host or air hostess would be another one that we could say. One other one that we can use just to refer to them in general is to say the cabin crew. The cabin crew. If we don't want to put gender, if we just want to say, you know, the profession, we can say the cabin crew. Okay, so very good. We had lots of words there. All right, any questions about how to ask questions? Well, if you have any questions, let me know. All right, so we're going to move on and we're going to go to the next part here. Now, this is an example here of my dream job. I told you earlier that I would tell you what my dream job is, and this was what I always wanted to be when I was a kid. My dream was to be a wildlife photographer. A wildlife photographer, somebody who goes out into the jungle, into the world, into the remote places around the world, and takes pictures of animals, takes videos of animals, works with animals from a distance. Right? That's something that I always wanted to do when I was a kid. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to interview a wildlife photographer to find out about what they've done in their lives, what it's like to be a wildlife photographer. right? So that we can know what we could have been, what I could have been, right? The dream job that I had as a kid. Okay, so we're going to interview this person using the present perfect tense, in the way that we have just learned how to do it. Okay, so let's get started. Let's do this. We're going to interview a wildlife photographer. So your job now is to take the information that I have on the screen and create a question using it. So you have to ask a question, you have to unscramble the sentence and ask a question. Now, once again, the first person to do it is the winner. You get the bragging rights. I put your name on the screen, all of those great things. But you need to ask the question to Alex, our wildlife photographer. Notice that we have the verb sell. It is in brackets because you need to conjugate it. You need to put it in the correct form. Okay, remember that. You can't just say sell. But I need the question from you. So the first person to give me the question wins the point, gets their name on the screen. The first person to do it. Let's see. Who's going to do it? Who's got it for me? Let's see. Who's going to give it to me? We need the question to ask our wildlife photographer to ask them about their job, about their life, right? Now, some of you said that you can't really see the screen. Can you see the words on the screen here? Because if you can't, then we might have a problem. If we can't, then we might have a problem. But let's see if we can do it. Let's hope that we can get it done today. If not, maybe if I do this, maybe it makes it better. I don't know. Let me know if you can. Let me know if it makes it better. All right. Okay. Excellent. All right, I'm seeing some good answers. We can't see very well, huh? That's not nice. That's not nice at all. Well, we're just going to have to do our best. We're going to have to do the best that we can here. All right, let's see. All right. Yes, all right, so I'm seeing some good answers. I'm seeing some good ones. There we go. I like this one. Emil say, have you ever sold your photographs? Excellent. To any international magazine, even better. I like that part. Very good. Have you ever sold your photographs? Very good. I think that's good. So have you ever sold your photographs is going to be our question. Now, I want you all to notice something, that in our questions before, we said, have you flown to Paris? Right? Have you flown to Paris? That was our question before. But now we're saying, have you ever sold your photographs? Have you ever sold your photographs? That's a really common word to see in here, is the word ever. Whenever we're asking a question, we love to say, have you ever sold your photographs? Right. All right, I'm seeing some other people with some very good answers. Delphine says, have you ever sold your photographs? Very good. Dubrovka, have you ever sold your photographs? Excellent. As a photographer, you need to sell your photographs, right? That's what makes this a job and not a hobby, is to sell things. So, very good. Have you ever sold your photographs? And our answer, of course, from Alex, the wildlife photographer, is yes, I've sold. Notice that we have now the affirmative where we don't change the order. I've sold a few photographs to popular magazines. This is a very important word to pronounce correctly. I hear a mistake with this one a lot. People say popular. Make sure we get that U sound in there. Popular. That pew, popular. Okay. At home, I can imagine everybody sitting there saying pew, pew, pew. All right. So we'll practice that one. I've sold a few photographs to popular magazines. Very good. All right. Excellent. That was for number one. All right, here's number two. The second question to our wildlife photographer. Let's see, who's going to be the first person to get it? Who is first? Who's going to get it? Here we go. Who's going to get it? All right. Our wildlife photographer. We need to ask the question. A lion cub. Don't get thrown off by this. A lion cub is the name of a baby lion. You can imagine maybe our interviewer here, her favorite animal is a lion cub, so of course she has to ask this question. Of course she has to ask about the lion cubs. A lion cub is a baby lion. Yeah. for all of these big cats. The animal, the baby version is a cub, like Simba in Lion King. Of course, Simba is a lion cub, at least for the first half. All right, so let's see. We need to unscramble the sentence, change the word see into the participle form, and ask our question, our interview question. Let's see. Let's see. What can we say? Who's going to get it? Who's going to get the first point? Yes, absolutely. There we go. I'm seeing them in. I'm seeing them. Yes, Delphine, absolutely. Ooh, have you ever sawn? Nope. Sawn, nope. Raimonda, yes. Have you ever seen a lion cub? Absolutely. Yes, there we go. So we have the verb to see, past tense saw, participle. Oh no, you got it in my head. You got it in my head. I'm gonna erase that. All right. Participle seen. There we go. Participle seen. So, have you ever seen a lion cube? I'll forgive that one. A lion cub. Emil say yes, absolutely right. Have you ever seen a lion cub? Perfect. Perfect. Very nice. Absolutely. So again, we have our question with ever. So, have you ever seen a lion cub? Very good. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. There we go. And again, we have to have our answer from our professional wildlife photographer. So of course, I've seen lots of them, right? This is why it's so great to be a wildlife photographer. I even published a photo of one last year. Ooh, very cool. Okay, good. Here we go. Here's the next one. So we need it again. We need the question. Give me the question. We're getting more interesting with our questions, I think. So ever be attacked, have by an animal, you. Those are our segments, our parts. We need to ask the question. The first person to give me the correct question gets their answer on the screen. You get the fame. You'll be famous if you give me the correct answer. Here we go. On Facebook or on YouTube, you can answer in either chat, and I will see your answer in either one, wherever you post. All right. We have people watching on both. So if you're there, write your answer, and we'll see it here. All right. Ever be attacked, have by an animal, you. What can we say? What can we say? This one's a little bit tricky because it's in the passive voice, but all of the rules are exactly the same. You don't need to think too much about this one. You don't need to think too much about this one. Don't let the fact that it's in the passive voice fool you or trick you. Just give me the right answer and you've got it. Let's see. All right. Let's see. Excellent. Delphine. Very nice, Delphine. Our question is: have you ever been attacked by an animal? Of course, you're a wildlife photographer. Sometimes you go out into the wilderness, into the wild, and you see the animals and you take pictures of them. Maybe they don't like it, and so they attack you. Right? So, have you ever been attacked by an animal? And our answer, thank goodness, thank God, is no. I've never been attacked by an animal while I was working. We have that part in there, while I was working. So maybe while she wasn't working, she was attacked. I don't know. But yes, I've never been attacked by an animal while I was working. Excellent. Have you ever been attacked? Good. I see some other good ones. Emil say, have you ever been attacked by an animal? Very good. Have you ever been attacked? Very nice. Excellent, everybody. Very good. Okay. Good. One more question like this. And I think this is a good one. I think this is an important one. We say, with anyone famous, work, have ever you. Again, the correct order. While you're writing, I'm going to tell you that I hear this word mispronounced a lot in English. I hear this word mispronounced a lot. This O-U-S combination. I hear the mispronunciation of this one a lot. Now, this is one that's different around the world. I have one friend who's from Yorkshire who pronounces this sound very, very differently from myself. But the way that I've always pronounced it, and the way you find it in the US mostly, is to pronounce this O-U-S combination here the same as you would pronounce the pronoun us. Right, so us, like this. So not famous or famous or famous. No. Famous. That's the best. That's the American pronunciation, at least. If you go to different parts of the world, you'll find that it's pronounced a little bit differently. But for me, this is the best way to pronounce it, at least in my experience. All right, let's see. What do we have? What do we have? All right. Excellent. Emilce, very good. So our question is, have you ever worked with anyone famous? Absolutely. Have you ever worked with anyone famous? I see that from her. I see from Raimonda. Have you ever worked with anyone famous? And Delphine as well. Excellent. Excellent. Have you ever worked with anyone famous? Very good. And there we go, of course. And our answer from Alex here says, I've never worked with anyone with any famous people, but I have been hired to take photos of famous animals. Of course, we're a wildlife photographer, so of course she's going to take pictures of famous animals. I'm thinking of Free Willy, or maybe some other famous Air Bud. I don't know, some other famous movie animals, right? Good. All right. Very nice. Now, so those were our questions with with ever, have you ever, but we also have to ask some information questions because they can't all be yes or no questions. We need information. So let's try to finish this sentence, try to finish this question using the present perfect tense, of course, but with how many times. That's our question word. So we need to try to get a question that works well here. So how many times? How can we finish this question? How many times? What can we say for this one? All right, remember, we have a little bit, things are a little bit different when we have a question word, like how many times. That can be a question word. And when we do that, we have to change things just a little bit. It's not exactly the same. It's not exactly the same when we do that. So what can we say here? How many times? This is a wildlife photographer in the end, so we have to ask, we have to ask about certain places, I think. So what can we say? How many times with the present perfect tense and the verb to be? And the verb to be. Now, this is an interesting thing here. Yeah, okay, I'm seeing some good answers. I'm seeing some good answers. Very good. Yeah, Raimonda, how many times have you been? Ooh, very close. Very, very close. Very close. I'm seeing the same answer from several different people. This is a tricky one. Okay, so this is a bit of a trick question here. This isn't a very obvious one. Been in Africa. In is the problem here. Been in Africa. In is not the right preposition. In is not the right preposition. We have a different preposition there. So we have how many times? Absolutely. Absolutely. How many times have you been is correct. Absolutely. Africa. We need a different preposition there. We need a different preposition, not in, right? In is not our preposition. It would make sense to say in. It would make sense, but that's not the answer. That's not what we say there. Yes, absolutely. I'm seeing it from everyone. Very good. Raimonda says two, Delphine. Yes, two. Absolutely. Very good. How many times have you been to Africa? And I know that that's very strange to say be to Africa. I have been to Africa. It sounds very strange, but that is the construction that we use. So this is one of those weird situations in English where the preposition doesn't really make sense. It would make sense to say, have you gone? Have you, let's say, have you gone to Africa? Go to Africa. That makes sense. But actually, that's not what we say in this case. We would say, have you been to Africa? Good. And then, of course, our answer from our wildlife photographer is, I've been to Africa at least a dozen times. I go back as much as I can. As much as I can. It's a very good expression there, a good way of, or a good way to say very often, right? I go as much as I can, right? And I go back, meaning I return. So I return as much as I can. Very good. Excellent. All right, all right, all right. Here we go. Here's another one. This one's also a little bit tricky because we have lots of verbs here, but we just need to make a sentence that makes sense. If you give me a sentence that makes sense, I'm happy if you can do that. All right, so how long? So now our question word is how long, not how much or not how, yeah, how long? How long? So again, we're asking these questions to our wildlife photographer. And this is a good one for you to think about too, for your dream profession, your dream job. You could answer this one too with that. Let's see. Let's see, let's see, let's see. How long? How long? Bit of a tricky one, I suppose. Bit of a tricky one. How long? How long? How long? All right, let's see. Want to be a photographer. How long? Want to be a photographer. So we need to decide. We need to decide, are we going to put the verb to want in the present perfect or the verb to be in the present perfect? We have to decide which one we want to do. It's an important part of this. How long? Want to be a photographer. Let's see. Who's going to get it? Who's going to get that first point? Who's going to get it? Yeah, there we go. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing the answers coming in. It looks like what happens is you type your answer and then it waits a minute and then it sends all of them at the same time to me. But here's the first one, absolutely, from Delphine. How long have you wanted to be a photographer? Very good, Delphine. That's the best answer. How long have you wanted to be a photographer? Very good. So we can ask this question when we want to know the duration. We can say, how long have you? How long have you wanted? How long have you gone? How long have you seen? Absolutely. Very good. And then we have our contracted sentence where it says, I've always wanted to be a wildlife photographer. Even as a child, I would take pictures of animals in the park. Very nice. I've always wanted. Notice we have that word, I've always wanted. Right, always. Notice that in our response, we are contracting our sentences a lot. We're contracting the present perfect. We don't say, I have wanted. We can say that. That's okay. But we don't normally say it. We generally contract it and we say, I've wanted. I've always wanted. Right, so that's the better way to do it, I think. At least it sounds more natural that way. I've always wanted. All right. Okay. I think this is the last one. So one more time, last one here. Give me your answers. Who's going to get the answer? What interesting animals? Now, notice that our question words are getting very long here. What interesting animals? That's our question. That's our question word or our question segment of the sentence here. All right. So, what interesting animals? Let's hear it. Let's hear it. What interesting animals? Dun, dun, dun. What can we say? What can we say? I think this one's going to be easier. We have so this word here, photograph. Photograph. Now this may be a little bit confusing because photograph you normally think of as a noun, right? A photograph, of course. But in English, we love to turn our nouns into verbs. We love to take a noun and make it a verb. What does the rain do? The rain rains. We use it as a verb. And so to photograph is also a verb, meaning to take a photograph. Okay, so we have the verb to photograph, meaning to take a photograph, right? To take a picture. Okay, so don't get too mixed up with that. Don't get too confused there. We can use extra words if we want to, but we can just use the verb to photograph. Okay, so what interesting animals? With the word photograph. Let's see. What can we say? What can we say here? What interesting animals? Yes, absolutely. Delphine. Yes, absolutely. There we go. It says, what interesting animals have you photographed? What interesting animals have you photographed? Absolutely. Very good. Very good, Delphine. Excellent answer. What interesting animals have you photographed? Very good. Again, photograph is our verb. Very long verb, but it is our verb. And it's so our wildlife photographer Alex says my favorite animals I have photographed are orangutans. If you don't know what this is, go find a picture of them. It's going to be very hard to explain. Our orangutans in Borneo, they are so friendly and charismatic. Charismatic, right? Notice that this word here, this ch, normally it makes a ch sound, but in this word it doesn't. In this word, charismatic, also in the word character, it's also that k sound, not a ch. Okay. Very nice. Okay. Okay, good. So that was our interview with our wildlife photographer. Now, in her answers, she used a couple interesting words that I want to mention really fast because we're running out of time here and I don't want to keep you forever. But she used a couple interesting words. So in our questions, we use this word ever. We kept using this word ever, right? We said, have you ever seen a lion cub? Have you ever worked with a famous person? Okay, this is a really common question to use when you're asking a question in the present perfect tense, and it means at any point in your life, at any point in your life. So maybe when you were starting your career, maybe last week, any point in your life. I'm asking if at any point in your life you have seen a lion cub. Okay, so we often use this word ever in the present perfect. Now, when she responded, she said this. She said, I've never worked with a famous person. I've never. So again, we have this word never, which is kind of the negative version, but never meaning at no point in your life. So at no point in her life has she ever worked with a famous person. She has never worked with a famous person. Okay, so this is another word that we often see in the present perfect. Very, very common. And finally, we see this last one here, always. Right? She also used this word when she was responding. She said, I've always wanted to be a wildlife photographer. I've always wanted to be a wildlife photographer. And this is to say, again, a very common word in the present perfect. This is to say, at every point in your life. So your entire life, every single day of your entire life, from when you were a child until last week, until today, every single point in your life, you have wanted to be a photographer, right? So we see these three really common words in the present perfect tense. We see these really common words in the present perfect tense here, okay? So if you have questions about this, type them in the chat. If not, we're going to get to our last final little bit, and you know what it is. So we're going to do another really fast interview. We're going to do another quick interview, but this time I want you to think about your dream job, the one that I asked you about at the beginning of class, at the very beginning of the class today. I asked you what your dream job is. Some of you said a kindergarten teacher. One of you said to a hotel tester, someone who tests hotels or or tests restaurants, a reviewer maybe. I want you to think about that, and I want you to answer my questions thinking about that, all right? So talking about your own personal dream job, okay? So let's get started. Again, we have our interviewer. You need to answer my question. Imagine you are a veteran of your dream job. You've been doing this job for years and years and years. You're a professional. You're at the top of your field. Okay, so I want to know, where have you traveled for work? If you are a hotel reviewer or a food reviewer, you probably travel to a lot of places. If you're a kindergarten teacher, I don't know, maybe you go on field trips. Tell me, where have you traveled for work? Or if you haven't traveled anywhere for work, then maybe you can give me the negative answer in the form that we just saw. So using those words ever, never, and always. If they apply, okay? If they apply. If they don't apply, you don't have to use them. But if they apply, then try to give me one of those in your answer. So where have you traveled for work? Where have you traveled for work? That's my question to you. Maybe we can think of different countries. Maybe we can think of different places or different cities or different places within your city. Even it could be different museums, things like this. But I want you to tell me where you have traveled for work as your dream job. We have to imagine a little bit here. We have to be a little bit imaginative, I suppose. Yeah. So where have you traveled where have you traveled for work in your dream job? Where have you traveled for work in your dream job? Let's see. Who's going to give me the first one? Who's going to give me the first one? Where have you traveled in your dream job? All right. Where have you traveled for work? Okay, I'm seeing some good ones here. Seeing some good answers. Absolutely. Very good. Okay, let's see. So we have one. Delphine has traveled everywhere in Europe for work, working with horses, right? Delphine, you said earlier that your dream job is to work with horses, right? So you've traveled everywhere in Europe, working with horses in your dream job. Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. And Milce says that she would have liked to be an athlete. So imagining you're an athlete, you've traveled all around the world playing sports, I'm not sure, some kind of sport, whether football, soccer, or basketball, or whatever sport it is, you've traveled all around the world doing it. Excellent. All right. How about this one? Here's another question for you. Here's another question for you. Here we go. How many people have you helped throughout your career? How many people have you helped throughout your career? This is a very important one if you have a dream job. So I imagine you're probably helping a lot of people. Notice that we have this word here. Oh no, we have this word here throughout. There we go. We have the word here throughout. Make sure you're pronouncing this word correctly. Throughout. And this just means during your entire career, during the entire time of your career, how many people have you helped throughout your career? We could also say during, if we want to. We could also say during your career. We could also say, in your career. We could also say that. Those words are fine too. But I think throughout captures exactly what we want to say here. So how many people have you helped throughout your career? That's my next question. This is going to be our last question. This is going to be our last question. I want you to show me that you can use the present perfect. If you can show me that, if you can use it correctly to answer this question, then we will call it a day with this one. All right? If I get some good answers, only if I get some good answers. That's what I need. So let's see. How many people have you helped throughout your career? How many people have you helped throughout your career? What can we say? All right. We need to remember what our career is. I'm trying to remember what everybody says. I'm trying to remember what everybody's answers are. Oh, remember real fast, one more thing about this, that career, that this word career, I think that it's different in a lot of languages. It can be a false friend in some languages. Career refers to your job, your profession, the life of your profession. That's what we're talking about with this. I know that in some languages, thinking of Spanish here, that it's a false friend because you think career, you think the degree, you think you think in university, but actually career refers to your job. Okay, so career talks about the profession, and we have degree for the school or for university. Okay, so keep those straight in your head. Okay, very good. So let's see. I've helped many people throughout my career. Very good, Delphine. Absolutely. I've helped many people throughout my career. I have helped some people I came across along my trips. Okay, I'll take that. I'll take that. Raimonda, you say I have helped no people. That's okay. That's okay. But make it. There's a word we can use when we want to say the negative in a response in the present perfect. There's a word that we said before: ever, never, and always. One of those words is really good. Dubrovka says I have helped many people during my career. Excellent, excellent. So we can say during the career. We can also say throughout the career. Both of those are very good. Absolutely, very nice. Okay, everybody, very good, very good. We're going to jump here. We have our review slides. So today we were talking about our careers. We were talking about our dream jobs. I told you about my dream job. These are the things to remember, though. These are the parts to take away. Okay, so we had fun, but now back to the grammar and things. So remember that we talked about our regular verbs and our irregular verbs, and how we always need to remember to use the third form whenever we're using the present perfect. Right? That's an important part of this. We need to use the present perfect. We need to use the participle to do so. Also remember that to ask questions, we have two different ways to do it. We can ask our yes/no questions using have and the participle, just like before, but we have to switch the order of them. Very important. We have to switch the order. I don't want to hear anyone say, you have flown to Paris. No, have you flown to Paris? Right? Very important. And finally, we have these three words, ever, never, and always, that we like to use with our present perfect sentences. Right? So we like to use ever in the questions, we like to use never in the negatives, and we like to say always to show that something was true at every point along the way. Okay? Good. So those are our topics. That's what we've learned today. That's if you can leave this class remembering these things, then I have succeeded. Then we have all succeeded. We've done a good job, right? So thank you all for that. Now, very quickly, I want to remind you that this was part 1 of our present perfect section, of our present perfect series of lessons, right? So next Monday, I'm going to have part 2, where we're going to continue talking about the present perfect, and we're going to compare it to the past simple tense. This is where I think 99% of people make big mistakes using these verb tenses, is between the present perfect and the past simple. It is not the same in all languages. It is not very clear. The difference between them is not very clear, or at least it isn't always very clear. And so next week, we are going to tackle that issue and make sure that we can use the present perfect and the past simple correctly. All right. And our topic, because we have to have a topic, our topic will be famous people. We're going to talk about celebrities and actors and singers and things like that. All right. Now, all right, so that's it for our class today. We are finished. You are free. You can go and live your lives. You can do whatever you need to do on this Monday afternoon. So that's it. If you have any questions, I'll stay for a moment or two and I'll answer any questions you have. And if not, then feel free to get on with your lives. All right, and I'll see you next week, next Monday, same time, same place. All right. Very good. All right, I'll stay for a moment and just see if anyone has any questions, and if not, then I'll go ahead and end this this live stream here. How did everything work, right? So maybe you can write in a comment on the video, and you can tell me, how did it all work? Was it very clear? I know some of you had some problems with the video as we were going. I think it was not very clear. It was blurry maybe for some of you. Maybe there was a lot of lag. I'm not sure. You know, streaming through these services, it's not always the easiest thing. It's very new technology. So let me know. You know, you can type into the comments. You can tell me how this went, if it was very clear or not, or what can be improved. Please let me know, because I want to do this better. All right. Okay, guys, put those things in the comments. If you have any questions about the class from today, or if you're watching this in the future and you have questions about what we discussed, then please put them in a comment, and I'm happy to talk with you or happy to help out. If not, or if you don't have any questions right now, then I'm going to end the stream. And I thank you all for coming. All right, everybody, I'll see you next time, okay? Bye.